All right, what's up, everyone? Got a fun team to showcase today. This one's a little spicy. Got my XL Bonsly and XL Floette and XL Rufflet. I created this team. I had no idea how it was actually going to do. Just wanted to make a fun team to use for the Go Battle weekend, and it actually ended up gaining me about 150 elo. So I had dropped a little bit down from expert to around 2600s or so, and I used this team to climb from 2600 up to 2750 back up to expert. In I can't remember how many sets. I've got 8 or 9 battles recorded, I think, just to showcase the team, show how the team works. I really was shocked at how well this team performed. I did not expect it to be as good as it was, but Bonsly's a good counter user, so you're weak to counter as well, though, and so you have 2 Pokemon in the back that can be, fighting answers. Floette, a fairy type, Rufflet, a flying type. So overall, it's honestly a pretty well-rounded team. You have counter damage, Rock Slide, Earthquake, grass damage from Vine Whip, Psychic, and Dazzling Gleam, giving you a fairy type coverage move, and then the flying type coverage from Rufflet. So you have a lot of different type moves to cover a lot of different matchups. So in this matchup here, it's a Mandibuzz lead. It's Snarl, so it's doing neutral damage. I wanted to land one Rock Slide and then catch the next Dark Pulse on Floette. It's resisted, right? And then see what comes out. It's a Ninetales. I'm going to go for a Psychic. There's a chance you could get a debuff with Psychic and potentially make it to another one, but looks like it's going to farm me down. And so if I bring Bonsly back in here, I can shield once, counter down, and then have a good bit of energy for whatever they have in the back. So in comes a Wigglytuff, which this is fine. I can throw 2 Rock Slides here before I get Charmed down, and then swap to Rufflet, and just need to land a Brave Bird with Rufflet. And I have a shield for, if they were able to make it to a move. But the Brave Bird will knock out. And then it's just a wing attack. Maybe not a wing attack down, but I make it to an Aerial Ace before they make it to another move because they were dry. So next battle, Sandslash, great lead. Saw a lot of these today, honestly. And they go to Charjabug, and this one I messed up. This is kind of tough. Charjabug's weird. I didn't really have a great answer for it. I probably should have stayed in with Bonsly and thrown a Rock Slide before swapping out, because Rufflet is just taking super effective damage from the Volt switches, and they're outpacing me to the moves at this point. And so I go for a shield thinking I could make it to one more Aerial Ace, but they actually threw X-Scissor and knocked me out. So not in a good position here. I'm going to try to just counter the thing all the way down with... Oh, actually, I make a catch, trying to catch a resisted X-Scissor on Floette. So ends up being, unsalvageable, though, because they bring in the Sandslash here, and they can just farm up a ton of energy, resist all my moves, and throw an Ice Punch at Floette and a Drill Run at Bonsly. So that was a tough one. GG to my opponent, and love the Charjabug spice. Next battle... we have Bonsly on Galvantula. Okay, so my counters are resisted, but a Rock Slide will probably one-shot, right? A super effective Rock Slide, and so I shield. They actually go for the lunge, the resisted lunge, to get the debuff on me. And so I'm just going to go for my Rock Slide here. I'm not going to shield the next move in case they lunge again, or I can live a discharge. So it is a discharge, and I get to another Rock Slide. So they shield again, and now I can bring in Rufflet and shield one move. I think they lunge me here, actually. Yeah, terrible. Resisted lunge, but they really wanted that debuff. So I overfarm a little bit, land the Aerial Ace, and then I farm up to a ton of energy and swap to Floette to catch an Ice Beam here. I didn't want to stay in there and throw moves that had been debuffed. So what's great about Floette is, you put it on a Medi like this, and I can land a super effective Dazzling Gleam that just about one-shots after the Vine Whip damage. So one more Vine Whip, they're gone. And now if they try to farm me down, I make it to another Dazzling Gleam. And Rufflet wins CMP versus Azu as well. So I can just instantly throw my Brave Bird and GG's. Yeah. This thing actually was like so strong. Rufflet, really, I think a better version of Noctowl. You don't have Shadow Ball like Noctowl does for the coverage move, but you do have Brave Bird and Aerial Ace was buffed this season, and so I think XL Rufflet's actually a really awesome pick for Open Great League right now. For this matchup, I'm going to shield once, get off my other Rock Slide here. And if they shield it, I'm going to go right to Floette and try to land a Psychic, which should KO. So I'll have to take one move, probably an Avalanche. I think I'm just going to let it go. And then this was a CMP tie, so my Psychic should go through here. And then Diggersby will come back out, and I'm just going to try to land another Psychic before they throw like a Scorching Sands or a Fire Punch. But my whole team is really good against Diggersby. Bonsly has to watch out for Scorching Sands, but we're doing super effective counters. So they bring in a Mantine here. I'm going to throw a Brave Bird. What I should have done is just like over farm a little bit. I wanted to be careful of an Ice Beam. I know sometimes they run Bubble Beam, sometimes they run Ice Beam. So I do use a shield here, and then I'm going to need to throw Aerial Ace on the CMP tie to knock it out before I get hit with the other Ice Beam. And at this point, if Diggersby is running Hyper Beam, yeah, I would probably lose this one, but it's a Fire Punch Diggersby, and so they're not going to be able to Fire Punch me down before I get to a Brave Bird. So, another good battle. Well played to opponent, but Bonsly, Rufflet, Core, too strong. Greedent lead, they swap into Golisopod, and Rufflet's a great answer to this. You're double resisting Shadow Claws and doing super effective wing attacks. So we can control the alignment, control the match here really well. They actually shield and go for another attack here though, so I can overfarm a little bit, do a few extra wing attacks, almost to 2 moves, and then throw the next Aerial Ace. And again, if the Greedent comes back in, you know, we're resisting the mud shots, and they can't farm us down, and we can get to a Brave Bird, which does a ton of damage. So with a Gligar in the back, Floette's not really a great Gligar answer, but we can do neutral Vine Whips, neutral Psychics, maybe get a debuff, and the main thing is just to get the shield down so that I can land a move with Rufflet. So we're going to let the dig go, bring Rufflet back in. It looks like they lag for a couple turns there. Doesn't really matter. We make it to a Brave Bird anyway. And we had a shield. So, yeah, wouldn't have really changed the outcome. But next game, we're going to have, let's see what we got here. Bonsly on Skeledirge. Okay, so I think I lost this one as well. Kind of interesting that I'm resisting the Incinerates, they're resisting the counters. My Rock Slides will do super effective, their Shadow Balls will do, you know, neutral, so like the match was like sort of in my favor there, I think, but I wanted to get a shield and then swap out and kind of see what they had in the back, but they have a hard answer to my Rufflet with their Steelix. Rufflet can do quite a bit of damage with 2 Brave Birds, but I didn't want to get hit with an Earthquake, so I do shield this, and this was just going to be another Breaking Swipe, so I let this one go. But their Skeledirge has like a ton of energy on it now. I think it would have been better if I threw a Rock Slide first and tried to get a shield, because at this point there's like no way I can really win this. Venusaur is a pretty good check to Floette. Psychic does do super effective, almost one-shots, but with its shield and energy on Skeledirge, yeah, can't really come back from this one. So that's a top left moment for me. Next battle, we got Bonsly on Sand. So another Sandslash, great lead for us. They stay in a little bit and then swap to Azu. So I want to bring in Floette here because we can do super effective Vine Whips. And I swapped a little late, I think. So I think we could have won the Zero Shield if I went double Psychic. I think I would have made it in time if I swapped right away, but this way I go Dazzling Gleam and then I'm just going to farm it all the way down. So I have a ton of energy going into the Sandslash. all these moves are resisted, but Sand Slash is really glassy and it's a shadow, and it's still going to do a good chunk of damage. I couldn't quite make it to a Dazzling Gleam, so I just go for another Psychic. Actually pull a shield, and now I can bring Bonsly back in here. Don't want to get hit with the Drill Run. It would close to one-shot me. And then it's Frost in the back, so they only have one shield, and I had energy advantage. So I can just throw both of these Rock Slides, and then let it throw a move at me to knock me out, and then bring in my Rufflet to farm it down. So they have to throw energy here, and then it's like 2 wing attacks away. And now I won't die to 1 Ice Punch, and they're low enough to where an Aerial Ace will KO. So GG, we win another game with this interesting trio of Bonsly, Floette, and Rufflet. Yeah, I think overall the team worked really well together. This was an interesting battle. Mantine's, like, depending on what moveset they have, it can be pretty tough. Because the bubble beams are, yeah, super effective. We're both resisting each other's fast attack damage, so I figured it'd probably be best to just throw a move and then swap out to clear the debuff and see what else they have in the back. They allow me to get to a Dazzling Gleam. It's been debuffed once, so it's not going to one-shot or anything like that, but it gets a good amount of damage off, and I'm still able to have, both of my shields here. I'm just going to go for a Dazzling Gleam against the Licky, and I think they're going to have to throw energy if they want to, yeah, knock me out before I get to another move. But I just swapped to Rufflet since we're double resisting the licks here, and I can farm up a ton of energy. So I use my first shield here. I'm going to overfarm a little bit, then go for the Brave Bird right as they get to their next Body Slam. Brave Bird KOs, and it's a Medicham in the back. So not a great position, but there are win conditions here. One of them was they lagged for like 2 turns there. And so I switched to Floette and able to get to a Psychic to knock out the Mantine, and then I can bring in my Bonsly here and just counter down, save my shield for Rufflet. The thing's, only needs a couple wing attacks down, but I end up actually just making it to a Rock Slide anyway. So that was a very close one, difficult battle. But the team works well enough together to where you can swap in and out, bank energy, and make some good combo plays. So overall, I don't know how many people actually have these Pokemon who can play this team. It's probably a very, very small amount of people, but for the Spice Lords who like using these kind of Pokemon, wanted to showcase the team and share that, yeah, I went up 150 elo with it in my battles this morning. Ton of fun to run. Yeah, let me know what y'all think in the comment. Y'all be blessed.